Hello.
Yeah, is Mr. Gresham there, please?
This is he.
This is Captain Ury, San Antonio Police Department, returning your phone call. How are you?
Hey, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Heard your message that you left Chief's office towards me. I'm the executive officer over the patrol division. They felt like that phone call back from me would be the most appropriate response. So,
okay.
I understand you wanted to discuss the incident that occurred at the Starbucks?
Yes, sir. The now I'm with Open Carry Texas. I'm the president and founder of that organization, and my concern is that officers are going around disarming law-abiding citizens under the guise of 4201.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to figure out how it is that we still have, because there's court precedent over and over again about 4201A8 only applying if a weapon is pointed or waved at somebody. And these guys were just sitting at a Starbucks drinking coffee. And so, I mean, is it the position of San Antonio that anytime somebody calls because somebody's exercising their right to carry a firearm legally in the state that they're just going to arrest them for 4201?
Okay. Well, I don't know. I agree with all the things you said, but there is a law for pointing a weapon at somebody. Disorderly conduct is not the one. Deadly conduct is when you actually point it at somebody. I'd have to. We'd be more than welcome. Happy to look at any court rulings that you have and send them to our training academy and let our staff kind of review them and see what's applicable, which courts. Obviously different courts when they rule have different jurisdictions. Based on what level they're at.
These are all Texas court cases.
Okay, but it could be a municipal court or a federal court or a county court. They have different broadness in where they apply. Just because it's in Texas doesn't mean it applies to San Antonio. But we'd be happy to look at them if you could get us some of that. I can tell you we are reviewing. We've asked our training academy to kind of look into the situation, given that it's obviously an issue that we need to be correct when we deal with it. We have ran it past our district attorney, and our district attorney has said that they are that they would take those cases. So in their interpretation of the law, they have said that yes, they will take the disorderly conduct when a weapon is displayed and alarm somebody. So that's kind of that's our backdrop of who we go to when we ask for clarification on is it an appropriate arrest or it isn't. So our district attorney has said it is.
Right, but I mean, do you see the folly that a guy's just carrying a gun lawfully? He's not doing anything. I mean, is it really just because we've got liberal gun grabbers out there that can't stand the sight of guns? Is that really calculated to cause alarm in the minds of the Temple Police Department? I mean, just because someone calls and says they're alarmed, that doesn't mean it was calculated to cause alarm. I mean, that's the kind of state that we're living in, and that's what Temple Police Department is basically saying is all we need to get is one or two calls of someone that's afraid to see a gun in public, and they can be cited.
Okay. I can tell you our position is, and we try to enforce the law. We don't write the laws. We try to enforce them. And obviously there's some laws that aren't clear enough in all circumstances that have to have some interpretation. That's what the DA's office and the courts do. If we have case law that shows us that is non-applicable in this situation, we'll be happy to follow that. We're not trying to circumvent what the law says. But I don't have anything. You're telling me that there's a lot of court cases that interpret the disorderly conduct rule when it applies to. Can you give me that? I mean, can you?
Yeah, I can send those to you. I got like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay.
As well as some Supreme Court case law about just the fact that you have a weapon in an open carry state does not constitute cause or reasonable suspicion that a crime is being committed.
Okay. Well, then if you can give me that, our processes are we have, obviously we're well versed in reading case law and we'll look at it and see which ones apply to us and which ones don't, because not all case law applies to all jurisdictions.
Well, I think I'm just more less concerned about the fact that, I mean, I'll send you all the case law, sir. If you can send me your address or email address, mine's cj@opencarrytexas.org. It's pretty easy. cj@opencarrytexas.org. But I mean, I guess my concern is that, you know, that the way that the San Antonio Police Department is affecting gun rights is that if somebody doesn't like the sight of it, and they merely have to use that word, it was alarming.
I can tell you, sir. I can tell you, you know, and I own guns. But walking down the street, seeing a guy sitting there with an AR-15 alarms me, and I'm a policeman. I don't know who the good guys and the bad guys are.
Well, the good guys are pointing their guns at people.
Okay, but, you know,
or the bad guys, I mean.
It alarms me to see a guy sitting there with an AR-15. It does.
that is so. But I don't get it. I don't get why the police think that just because a guy is armed. I mean, you guys can't be the only ones armed in the country. I mean, that's called tyranny.
That isn't the case, sir. What I can tell you that we deal with enough people that we realize that even good people have bad days. And
Captain, come on. If you're a gun owner, wait, hang on. If you're a gun owner, tell me how many law-abiding gun owners in the state of Texas have a bad day and go shoot people. I know the percentage, and I can tell you.
Okay. I've dealt with many people who are concealed handgun carriers.
Yep.
Who have gone outside the bounds of what, you know.
0.15%. According to Texas numbers.
It takes one person if you're the victim on the other end of it. So
well, I didn't understand that, but what we're doing is
I don't want to debate philosophy with you. I'm just telling you, if people, I don't think we want to be in a society where every corner has 50 people standing there with guns.
Arizona has it. It's not a problem. They actually have a very low crime rate.
Okay. I go back to the fact of we enforce the law. We don't write it, and our interpretation, and the district attorney, really the district attorney is the one you got to talk to, because they're the ones who tell us, yes, this is going to apply in this case, or no, it's not. So we've gotten our expert opinion from our legal staff, which is the attorneys at the district, the district attorney's office. They said they'll take the case. They feel like,
of course they're going to take the case, officer. But the fact is that San Antonio police position is that you are going to interpret the law against the gun owner. Is what you're going to do.
Let me tell you, in the situation that happened, the guys got off really light because that disorderly conduct's a Class B, which means they should have went to jail. They wrote them a ticket. They actually didn't even handle it correctly. They actually let them walk away, wrote them a citation, so they weren't put in jail. We've since gone back and looked and explained to them that version is a Class B, so they got off pretty light in the sense that they got a ticket and they can go.
They got off light that they've got to pay a fine at the minimum for exercising their right to bear arms. That's what you're saying. Not. So now we have to pay fines to exercise our rights.
Absolutely not. If your assertion is correct, that it isn't against the law, then it'll be dismissed. Okay, that's how you make case law. You go in and you say, this was invalid. Here's why it was invalid, and the judge makes a ruling.
Yeah, and you guys are going to force citizens that are law-abiding citizens that are not breaking the law to pay for attorneys, to pay to go to court, to use their time. When this is being done, Captain, this is being done all around the state, and nobody's getting molested. But it happened in San Antonio.
Until we get a legal ruling and we have case law that says that law doesn't apply, that's how we are going to apply it. As soon as if you're correct, and I don't know that you are, but
I'll show you how correct we're going to be. I'll end it. I'll show you how correct we're going to be. We're going to bring a bunch of people down there to San Antonio, and we're going to have a giant rally, and we're all going to be carrying our rifles, and we're going to be doing it legally, and you guys are going to have no choice but to accept it because it's not against the law. Just like we've done in Corpus Christi, Houston, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, Mansfield, Temple. I mean, everywhere else. But you guys seem to be the oppressive ones.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue with you. I'll tell you that,
okay.
I'm not going to interpret the law by what you.
I got you. I've got your interpretation. I appreciate it.
I have to have a judge or a court say, this is the interpretation and here's how we'll move forward. That's the way the legal system works.
Got it. You would just rather throw law-abiding gun owners in jail and let the courts take care of it. Hey, thanks, Captain. I appreciate your time.
Okay, have a good day. Bye.